Lately, I've been thinking about something that never crossed my mind when I was a child. Back then, I did things simply because I enjoyed them. I drew for hours, I painted, I wrote poems, I went on long walks with my dog, and not because I was trying to become good at any of those things, not because I had a goal, not because I thought they would help me one day. I did them because I loved them, and somehow that was enough. But somewhere along the way, something changed, at least for me. I started asking myself a different question. Not if I enjoy this, but what can this become? Can I make money out of it? Can I turn it into a business? Can I get really good at it? Can I achieve something with it? And on the surface, those seem like reasonable questions, but I have started to wonder if they come with a hidden cost. Because every time I asked those questions, the pressure showed up shortly after. I remember when I started painting. I loved it so much. I loved learning and experimenting new things. I loved seeing colors appear on a black canvas. But after a while, I wanted to improve faster. I wanted my paintings to look better and I wanted results. I wanted proof that I was progressing. And slowly, without realizing it, I stopped painting for the same reason I started. I wasn't doing it for joy anymore. I was doing it to become good, and eventually I stopped. Not because I didn't love it, but because I turned something beautiful into another expectation. I think many of us do this. We find something that makes us feel alive and we immediately ask it to justify its existence, to be productive, to be useful, profitable, impressive, as if enjoyment alone is not enough. And honestly, I don't know when we learned that, because children don't think that way. A child doesn't draw because they are building a personal brand. They draw because they want to. A child doesn't run through a forest because it's productive. They do it because it feels good for them. Somewhere along the way, we become obsessed with outcomes and we forget about the experience itself. Lately, some of my favorite moments have been the ones that serve absolutely no purpose at all. Riding my bike, for example, and just stopping to watch the water, filming trees moving in the wind, and watching the birds, walking through a forest or cooking something slowly, reading a book on a quiet afternoon. None of those things are moving me toward the goal. At least, not in the way we are taught to think about goals, but they make me feel alive. And maybe that's worth something too. Actually, if I think long enough, maybe that's worth more than we realize. Sometimes when I'm outside surrounded by trees, water and birds, I feel something that's difficult to explain. It's not excitement or achievement, it's not even happiness in the way people usually talk about happiness. It's more like a feeling of connection, as if for a moment nothing is missing, as if I don't need to become anything or to fix anything, to figure anything out. I can simply be there. And maybe that's why I have started questioning this idea that every hobby needs a purpose. Maybe not everything needs to become a side business. Maybe not everything needs to become content. Maybe not everything needs to become a skill we master. Maybe some things are valuable simply because they bring us back to ourselves. The older I get, the more I think that's something we have forgotten. We have become so focused on getting somewhere that we have stopped appreciating the things that make the journey meaningful. So lately, I've been trying to ask a different question. Not what can this become, but do I enjoy this? because I think that's enough. I think that spending an afternoon painting is enough. Maybe just reading a book is enough. Maybe just riding a bike with no destination is enough. Or watching the rain on the window. Maybe not everything has to lead somewhere. Maybe some things are worth doing simply because they make us feel alive. Maybe that's something we knew as children before we started measuring everything by results, before every hobby had to become a skill and every skill had to become a side hustle, every afternoon had to be productive. I'm slowly learning to go back to that version of myself, to be a child again, the one who painted because she loved the feeling of a brush on a black canvas, the one who wrote poems no one would ever read, the one who walked through nature without needing a destination. I don't need to become extraordinary to live an extraordinary life. I just need to keep noticing the ordinary moments that make me feel alive. This is for me more than enough.